Kirk Lacob, Executive Vice President, Golden State Warriors, and the first General Manager of the Dakota Wizards and then Santa Cruz Warriors. It's a great question for me of all people. I guess my first memory of the C-Dubs is actually the birth of the team. I remember being back in Dakota trying to come up with the Santa Cruz Warriors, moving the team to Santa Cruz, coming up with the name, the logo. So there was almost a gestation period for me. It's like having a child. I remember the whole 9 months going into putting this thing together. But you know, having this baby be born, being there that first night is something that I'll never forget. Really putting our stamp on that community and having the team play its first game. I was nervous. I very, very rarely get nervous about anything, let alone a basketball game where I really can't control anything. All my job is to do everything before the game and then let the players play the game, but I was nervous for them that first game, and I'll never forget our first coach, Nate Bjorkgren, was incredibly nervous, and that actually gave me a little bit of anxiety about trying to help him through it. And so he tried to lighten the mood. And that first night I told him, you know, don't worry about anything, but this is our only first game ever, and whether you win or lose, we'll forever be in the record books. And then I smiled and laughed at him. And I tried to take the edge off. We did end up winning the game. But yeah, that smoke machine, players coming out, that first look at that logo in center court and jump ball, we'll forever remember that. The thing about the atmosphere that first night is that it hasn't really changed. And I think that's what I love so much about the Santa Cruz Warriors. From day one to the present, it's always been that same incredible atmosphere, that same incredible fandom, people up and screaming, you know, not sitting down until the first basket is made. It's really, really special. And I remember thinking there's gonna be a honeymoon period. We're gonna win our first couple games. It's gonna be exciting. There's a new team in town. How do we keep that going? And to see us here over 10 years later with that same intensity, it's everything. It's what makes it such a special place for players, for staff, for everybody who's part of that team and that community. Man, like I said, the proudest moment is getting it going. Seeing that arena open for the first time. I remember meeting with everybody in Santa Cruz to try to get the team moved there. I remember meeting to try to get that arena built. I remember seeing that first slab of concrete poured and them saying, we gotta be ready in 78 days. So, you know, watching that open for the first time is an incredibly proud moment, but you really put your stamp on it when you do something significant, when you win a championship. That is really special. And for me, part of winning that championship is really my overarching proudest thing, which is all the people that have come through. Winning is great. It's what we all strive to do. But you realize when you're on top of the mountaintop, it's not about the mountaintop, it's about who you're there with and who was there for the journey along the way. And I think I realized just how much all those people meant to me and how much joy they got out of that journey. We did snow angels and confetti on the floor with some people who had been with me since the very, very beginning in a motel in Bismarck, North Dakota in the dead of winter. And there we were at sunny Santa Cruz enjoying the confetti cannons and receiving a championship trophy. That's really special, but then I get to see them go on and do big things. You know, Casey Hill was with me that night, and I get to see him as a coach on the front of the bench for a team that's doing a great job. I get to see Sammy Gelfand doing the same, to being now on the bench in New Orleans. I got to see so many of my friends and colleagues go on to do even bigger and better things. And you know, it's those captured moments that really help you remember what the times were with them and everything that you went through. So the championship is the probably visceral moment, but it's the journey along the way and realizing what those people meant to you and what you meant to them that really sticks with me. We've had a lot of things happen. There are a lot of private moments in practice, which of course don't always get out, that are probably the funniest. But to me, the thing that actually sticks out is, and it's funny now, I don't know if it was funny at the time, is we internally called it Smoothie Gate. And this was probably in year 2, I think, or maybe even year 1, when the Idaho Stampede were in town, and there was an old promotion where if we score 100 points, fans get free smoothies. That has obviously changed over the years, but at the time it was 100 points and free smoothies, and we were up probably 9 points with a minute to go. and we're sitting around 97 points, and one of our players got a steal, went the other way, made a bucket, and the crowd just went absolutely wild. And they knew the game was over, but they were dead set on free smoothies, and the players could feel it, and coaches do not like this. There's like that code. And so they kind of said, let's dribble out the clock, let's not do anything. And our guys said, no, screw it, we're gonna get these fans free smoothies. And these fans are chanting, they're going nuts, smoothie, smoothie. And so one of our players goes and kind of commits a cardinal sin of basketball and grabs it and goes the length of the court, and it's like everything stopped. Like everything was silent as this guy goes the length of the court, scores a layup with 3 seconds to go. The crowd erupts, goes nuts. The players are all excited, they're jumping around. And both coaches, our coaches, oh my God, can't believe we did that. The other coach is storming towards the middle. Ended up being not a great situation. And there was even I think it was a chair, although I never quite heard, that was thrown through the wall of the visitors' team campus. So maybe not funny then, very funny to look back on now. I will never forget that moment, and it's a little bit similar to the famous Dirk Nowitzki chair throw in the Oracle locker room. We had our own situation where a chair punctured a wall, but seeing just our players and our fans' faces when we scored 100 points and everyone got free smoothies, and the opposite look, just looking down the bench at the disbelief that someone would do this, that was a pretty memorable and funny moment for me. I love everything about Santa Cruz. It is such a unique place, and it's such a cool community. It's very much part of the Bay Area, and yet it's got its own thing going. When you cross mountains and you go down 17, like things just are different there. But that's what's made it so special, I think. It is unabashedly its own culture and its own community, and they are really, really close. What I love is from the moment we touched down, Santa Cruz game days were a thing in town. People were wearing their gear, they're walking down Main Street. It was everything I think the city hoped for and more. You got people wearing gear, you got people going in to get more gear, you got people high-fiving on the streets. That is a really, really special thing for people to rally around, and that is born out of the type of community that you're in. Early on, I remember saying we want people here for a few years and then they should go do something else, and nobody would leave. Got to a point where we had people being offered jobs with NBA teams and they wouldn't leave. And I think that speaks to how special the community is in Santa Cruz and how much people love to be a part of it. We've had people move there from California, we've had people move there from the East Coast, the Midwest, internationally, and all of them find a sense of family there. And that there's nothing like that. So it's a really, really special place, and I'm so happy we've been able to call it home for this long. Yeah, my message for the fans is keep being you. Keep being there for this team. Players, coaches, and staff love going to work every single day because of you guys. So keep doing that. Don't lose your fervor. We're gonna bring a championship back to Santa Cruz. It's been way too long since 2015. We need another parade right down the heart of the city. But don't ever lose what makes you Santa Cruz and what makes you Santa Cruz Warriors fans. It's really unique to not only the G League, but professional sports as a whole. And I want you to continue to do that and show up every single day and enjoy it. And I promise, whatever you invest in that team, it's coming right back out. The players feel it, the coaches feel it, the staff feel it. So keep doing that.